Hey y'all, I'm gonna do the other what ifs like I said I will, and this what if I am gonna do what if Deku had Bendy's powers from Bendy and Boris' quest for the ink machine. Guys, I have to ask you something. Which new what if do you guys want me to do? What if Deku was a Funtime animatronic, or what if Deku had Sad Cube's power from Just Shapes and Beats? Either way, you guys tell me in the comments. I'm gonna continue this what if. Where I left off is when Ingo, Katsuki, and Mitsuki are in the hospital. The doctor right out says when he comes back to Mitsuki and Inko, saying that Deku has the ink illness that happened several years ago and that infected several innocent living beings and killed them off in a few weeks or so. As Mitsuki is nervous because she knows the ink illness as well as Inko. But the doctor right out says that it's not contagious as it was back then. Apparently it evolved to a certain extent that it only affects its host verbally, so they could go near him and nothing bad will happen to them. As they do walk into the hospital room where Deku is, Katsuki comes back from the quirk doctor telling Mitsuki that he has an explosion quirk. They do go into the room where Deku is and see him hooked up to several machines, because in that form he gets very ill, so ill that it's life or death for him. So if he goes into that form and then returns back, he gets so ill it's a chance of life or death. The first time he did it, it was like a very young age, so it was uncontrollable and was close to death. He was close to death. But when he gets older, he could control it more, and it would sustain itself to more life into death. I'm gonna skip to the beginning of the anime to let you guys know Deku will be bullied at school, but not from Katsuki because they treat each other like siblings. Katsuki will be like the big alpha dog in the school because how people treated Deku. Because apparently, in their eyes, Deku is like weak or had a villainous quirk and had a disease that killed innocent beings. And they're afraid to go near him and tells Katsuki to go away from him sometimes. And Katsuki right out says that it's not contagious as it was before at a long time ago. As they all like say, oh, you're a liar, you're a piece of shit, and tells like a bunch of curse words to Deku, and Katsuki just right out says, fuck off, you pieces of shit. Y'all are bastards. I will kill every single one of you if you ever harm my brother ever again. Everyone right out says, you're not even siblings. Why you're calling him your brother? It's because we treat each other like that, so shut the fuck up. As people started arguing with Katsuki, as Deku decides to had enough of this, as Deku drips ink from his hair that falls on the floor, as Katsuki grabs him and tells him that he has to go to the nurse, as Deku said, no, it's part of my quirk. And Katsuki said, are you sure it's not the ink illness? No. Like, remember, Katsuki and Deku are like, Katsuki's older, so he's like 16 maybe? 15? Deku's 15 or 14. So, this happened that, and Deku said, it's part of my quirk. The ink illness is not all my quirk. As Deku just says this, as the room that they're in, which is Izuku's classroom, like everyone in the classroom except Katsuki is like in shock, because Katsuki remembers how this works. As the room envelops in pitch black and yellowish whitish ink. So Deku literally makes it into his area. Like no one could leave out of his area or else they will get teleported back into his area. So Deku literally has a quirk that makes people go into like a realm. Like no one wants to mess with Deku after that. I keep on saying like, how dare I? So Katsuki does make the exact same speech as in the anime, but he also includes Deku in it because how people treat him. as Katsuki does know that Deku can't become a hero, but Deku wants to become a hero and decides that no one can force him to be anything he doesn't want to. So Deku's gonna follow his dreams and become a hero. So we're gonna skip to the end of the school. Katsuki does not blow up his notebook, but another student with a fire quirk did. Well, not exploded, just incinerated the entire notebook in front of Deku while Katsuki was waiting outside. And this person was known as the Big Bully. Katsuki was known as the Big Alpha. Like, Katsuki is the alpha of the school, like, big bad, not bad, but strong and mighty. This guy was the bully, which is under Katsuki. And he knows without Katsuki, Deku is useless. As when this guy burns Deku's notebook, Deku gets mad and just literally makes this guy go into his realm and traps him in there for what he thinks is several years. As Deku makes him go into there, as well as his lackeys, which were previously Katsuki's friends. As Deku made them go into his realm, well, they could force out if they know how to get out. If not, they'll just have to restart all over again to the beginning. As those guys are trying to get out, Deku just right out leaves. And Katsuki asks, where is everyone else that walked into the classroom? As Katsuki looks in, Deku just gives him a smile and said, oh, realm. Yeah, it makes sense, they're jerks anyway. Like, Katsuki doesn't, fight with Deku, sometimes. They just have, a sibling argument, but Katsuki and Deku never hurt, each other physically. They just have, verbally fights. As Katsuki said, okay, you need to let them out soon, because if not, they could die in there. But they're jerks. You said it yourself, Katsuki. Izuku, I am your older brother. But, no buts. Out. Let them out now. Fine. As Deku snaps his fingers, and these guys appeared in the classroom again, looking around, and they were in the third one already. They wanted to get out so bad that they rushed through, trying to get out. So they're, in the third part of the game. As Deku said, come on, we have to go. As Katsuki and Deku knows, they're, the big bullies, so they leave. And Katsuki said, okay, I'm gonna go hang out with some of my good friends. Do you want to come with? As Deku said, no, it's fine, you could go hang out. I think I should go home and train my quirk a bit more. Smart. You genius. I will come with you instead. I'm kidding. Katsuki does not say that. He said, okay, Izuku, you continue training. Katsuki does give Deku the nickname Deku, but the same reason that Uraraka gave Deku the name Deku. He thinks it's, a cool nickname or whatever. As Katsuki does lead Deku to, well, nah. Let's just continue. As Deku does go, to the underground bridge, as he does hear something, but thinks it's nothing anyway. So he goes to the bridge and gets attacked by the sludge villain, as Deku does turn into ink, which kind of fuses with the sludge, which is disgusting. As Deku feels weak and weird, so Deku decides to put this into his advantage and put the sludge villain into a realm, his domain, as the villain is trying to get out and brings Deku along with him. As Deku gets out of the sludge villain as hard as he can, grabbing ink and just turning it into claws on his arm before he gets sucked into his own realm. So Deku gets out of the sludge villain as put the sludge villain into his realm. All Might says, I'm here. I can't do an All Might voice, so I'm sorry. As Deku literally says, oh, hi, All Might. Like, All Might's not his favorite hero, but he is Katsuki's hero. And Deku just says, oh, can you sign this notebook? As Deku gives All Might a book and a pencil, as All Might does. He said, okay, kid, where's the sludge villain? Oh, hold on. As the sludge villain comes falling from the sky and splats all over. As All Might hears a giant splat behind him. And he sees the sludge villain all over the ground. As he said, good, great, good parenting. As Deku does help All Might, but does keep wary because he knows how it felt like being entrapped in slime. All Might does said, you have a great quirk, kid, what is it? Deku does explain All Might his quirk, but does not tell him the ink illness. And Deku does tell All Might something which All Might scares, which he noticed All Might does have an injury. Deku noticed that. And All Might's worried that he might figure out that he could become weaker and he could be a villain. All Might thinks this and said, oh, I have to go somewhere. Sorry, kid. Deku tugs on All Might and said, hold on, I have one last question. As All Might gets nervous and thinking he has to Detroit smash a villain this young. As Deku said, do you think I could become a hero with the illness that I have? As All Might said, you have an illness? Deku remembered himself saying he has an illness and has to not tell people. So, yeah, this is gonna be a short one.